You know, all while let's merge the Department of Homeland Security with the National Security Agency. It was an agency that didn't need to be built, but we really like the Stasi force, and we're going to have to employ all those people that are going to lose their jobs and their homes and their cars. That's what this Give Act was about. That's why they're pumping city year. Meanwhile, yeah, we're going to just start collecting DNA of anybody we suspect of a felony. That's a new law, sure. And by the way, in Wisconsin, the courts ruled it's all right to just GPS anybody's car as long as you're a police officer. Otherwise, it's stalking. And it is stalking. You can't put a GPS device on somebody's car, track and trace them without a warrant, and call it investigations. No, that is stalking. You're stalking somebody. You have no probable cause. Otherwise, you'd be able to get a warrant. So let me get this straight. We can now be tracked and traced with a GPS device, arrested, interrogated without an attorney for God knows how long. And then, you know, if they really want to invoke the Military Commissions Act and call you a terrorist, which they're doing more and more. Remember, everybody's an extremist. Everybody's a terrorist with these new domestic lexicon documents. And, you know, they pumped the fear in even further this week with these 4 half-retarded guys. Again, they're always half-retarded. They're always poor. They're always gangbangers. Local gangbangers. That's it. Low-level guys that can't even get guns. They had trouble getting guns. These are the terrorists. They have no links to any other outside groups. Basically, they framed some first-time Muslims coming out of jail. All right? One is literally the IQ level of a retard. I know they want to ban the word, but while I've still got it, I'm going to say it. IQ level of a retard. Couldn't make any bombs. Couldn't get any bomb-making material. Provocatored by the FBI. They're the ones that set the whole group up like they always do. No outside contacts whatsoever. My God. My God. We are, you know, they say that we get the government we deserve. I don't believe that. You know, some people might be out there sucking their thumb, playing with their iPhone, watching Hannah Montana on the TV with their kid, getting ready for the Cyberbullying Act to come into play. But I'm not. I don't deserve this. My family doesn't deserve this, even though they're ignorant to half of this. My friends don't deserve it either. They're good people. And it's sick. Boy Scouts to fight terrorism. This is the new America. We're here. We're here. We're in the new age. The one they just so desperately love, desperately promote. You know, speaking of that, Alternate did a great article. You want to know how dark these people are? You want to know how sick these people are? Do you really want to know? Back in 2003, George Bush, that's George W. Bush, spoke in front of Jacques Chirac and others. I'm just going to read it for you. You decide. In 2003, while lobbying leaders to put together the coalition of the willing, President Bush spoke to France's President Jacques Chirac. Bush wove a story about how the biblical creatures Gog and Magog, the biblical creatures Gog and Magog, were at work in the Middle East, and how they must be defeated. Then he goes into this. In Genesis and Ezekiel, Gog and Magog are forces of the apocalypse who are prophesied to come out of the north and destroy Israel unless stopped. The book of Revelations took up the Old Testament prophecy. You ready for this? And this is what I believe what he read. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the 4 quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, and fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. Bush believed the time had now come for that battle, telling Chirac, this is what he told Chirac, you ready? This confrontation is willed by God, who wants to use this conflict to erase his people's enemies before a new age begins. Oh, by the way, did I mention that Gog and Magog are Bush Jr. and Bush Sr.'s names in Skull and Bones? The article even admits to it. Oh, there's a curious coda to the story. Well, as senior at Yale University, George W. Bush was a member of the exclusive and secretive Skull and Bones Society. His father, George H.W. Bush, had also been a bonesman, not to mention their father and their father's father, as indeed had his father. Skull and Bones initiates are assigned or take on nicknames. And what was George Bush Sr.'s nickname? Magog. No, they don't believe in a new age. No, they don't believe in any of this stuff. They just talk about it. They just live it. They worship it. They love it. Meanwhile, we lose all our rights here, and cops become even more powerful, even more cocky. And I just, you know what? I better not have an altercation with a police officer in the coming years. Please, God, don't let it happen to me. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. I can't get a lawyer that's out. They can do whatever they want to me. Give me a break. All right, we're going to go to your calls on the other side. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas. Go check out the stories right now over at prisonplanet.tv, Infowars.com, and my little blog, theinfowarrior.com. Whoopee, you're all going to die. Yeah. I can't wait. Just, you know what? How about I dig my own grave, just jump in and throw the dirt on me? That'll be a good way to go, huh? Well, why go kicking and screaming? Why go fighting? Why go challenging the system when I can just die? I mean, that's what they want. They want you dead or enslaved. And that's just the facts. You don't think that's the facts? Listen, right here out of Reuters. And by the way, oh no, I'm sorry, this is the Examiner, not Reuters. But I'm still super pissed at Reuters from changing their environmental section to green business news. Used to be about the environment, now it's about green business. And by the way, this is out of the Examiner. One benefit of poor economic conditions, lower CO2 emissions. They're literally saying, because the economy is bad, we're helping to save the planet. Oh, but they're not going to regulate everything you do. How you live, what you eat, the car you drive, the garbage you produce, the house you live in. Oh, they'd never do that. They're just coming out and saying, oh, it's great for the world that the economy sucks. The earth is doing better because there's less CO2 in it. Garbage. Complete garbage. All right, we're going to go to Philip, Elsie, Eric, Kevin, and more. 866-582-9933. Let's go to Philip in Arizona. Philip, what's on your mind?
Hey, brother.
Hey, man.
That's really bad news to hear about this decision you're talking about today. What are we supposed to do if we get arrested?
You got me. Apparently, we're just supposed to take batons to the backside, my man. I cannot believe it.
I already live in Arizona here where I got Joe Arpaio running wild. And, hey, I wanted to tell you something. Me and my buddy here, we're new info warriors, okay? We're new to your cause. I've been reading Alex's website for maybe the past year, okay? But we weren't hip to all this other stuff that we just discovered in the past 30 days. So now, how do we take action, man? We can't just quit our jobs all of a sudden.
No, I don't think you should quit your job. I mean, you got to just tell your neighbors, man. I know. I'm pissed. I want to head for the hills. There's nowhere to go, man. Where are we going to go? We can't go to Australia. It's a big police state over there. You can't go to Canada. Big police state over there. Can't go to Mexico. They're going to be part of the North American Union. Can't go to the UK. There's all sorts of surveillance there. I mean, I'm fired up today, man. What are we supposed to do about this? We've got to just inform people. Yeah. Look, I'm in your same boat, man. I'm trying to make movies and do radio to warn people. Other than that, we need to be outside of our...
telling everybody to watch the Obama deception and From Freedom to Fascism. And I wish Aaron Russo wasn't dead because I think that guy was great. But what can we do to help, man? That's what we want to know.
All right, listen, this is what you can do today is Arizona. You can make this story... Well, I'll tell you what. You can make this story go viral. You can send this Supreme Court ruling to everybody else. Tomorrow, this video will be posted on YouTube. Let's make it go viral. Let people know we're not happy. You know, that's number one. Number two, you can call your representatives and say, did you see this Supreme Court decision? This needs to be overruled immediately. There needs to be, I mean, we can't trust the Supreme Court, number one. We can trust them less and less every day. And this next Supreme Court nominee is a member of La Raza. Look, you know what? Not everybody who's a member of La Raza is a bad person. Most people don't even know what it is. But it is a racially supremacist organization, and she's on the board, man. I mean, this country is so far gone, dude, that I don't even know what we're going to do. I don't want it to come to Second Amendment rights, but when they're talking quarantines and forced inoculations, and we're talking about that later. I mean, you think this swine flu thing is over. It ain't over. They're saying it's going to be a full pandemic, man. Full pandemic. Then what? Then what do we do?
I'm not getting a shot from anybody.
I'm with you. Thank you for the call, Philip. I appreciate it. I understand you. I'm frustrated as hell. I mean, you could see me. I'm turning beet red on the screen. I mean, you don't have the right to a lawyer? You don't have the right to a lawyer? I mean, what are they trying to pull here? And again, 5-4? Could it be any more obvious? When was the last time you saw a Supreme Court ruling that was 6-3 or 7-2? or 9-0. Never happens. They always give you the illusion that there were some people on the good side of the fence. There ain't nobody on the good side of the fence up there. They're scum. They're trash. They all need to be tossed out. And now the Department of Homeland Security is just going to become part of the National Security Agency. Everybody's a terrorist. Listen, how many domestic extremism lexicon documents do we have to break before people realize there are dozens more everywhere else in every other state? The MIAC report is the tip of the iceberg. And I mean a big, badass iceberg coming to take down your ship. Forget about the Titanic. I mean, this is it. Them's fighting words. I mean, no lawyer? Are you out of your mind? We're going to go to Elsie, Eric, and more on the other side. It's the Info Warrior with Jason Bermas, 866-582-9933.